So, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the penultimate episode of 2025, an episode dedicated to giving the flowers to the much-deserved shows for another wonderful year of anime. Welcome to the 7th annual WDYSA Anime of the Year nominations episode. 15 categories will be voted upon, along with casting your vote for the best of the best that will join the ranks of previous Anime of the Year winners, Vinland Saga, Bocchi the Rock, Odd Taxi, Jujutsu Kaisen, and two-time winner Frieren. If this is your first time joining us, how the awards work? Any show that aired in 2025 is eligible for an award. That means shows like Orb, which started in 2024 but finished in 2025, are eligible. Each category will have a community runner-up and winner, along with Feeding My Ego, my personal runner-up and winner. Joining me today is my co-host Miles. Miles, with another year around the sun, how are we feeling on 2025 as a whole?
What a year 2025 was. What a fever dream it was. You know, look back at some of these anime and I'm like, wow, that was only a year ago. Like, it's tough. But I think it was overall a pretty good year. As always, I have a good time and I look forward to looking back and just picking whatever the most recent thing I liked is for the anime of the year. Recency biasing and all of that. So we'll see if I do that this year. I actually don't think I'm going to, but it's fun to joke about.
No, you bring up a good point, because a lot of times it does feel like recency bias wins awards a lot of the time. But this year, with fall sort of being a little lackluster, I wonder how that's going to fare for the rest of the audience, because we do normally see that trend, but we'll find out when we get there. But we got 15 categories to get through, Miles. We got to knock these out. So let's start with what we always do. We start with the OPs, because the show starts with the OP. We start with the OP. So our 6 nominations.
Best cold open.
Best cold open, yes. And the winner again is Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the I Want It That Way cold open, best cold opening in TV history. So because of like YouTube copyrights, obviously we can't play the songs, but in our voting form in the description below, I left links for the songs. So if you want to go check these out and you haven't heard them, go check it out. So here are our nominations. From Ave Musica, we had Kill Kiss. From the Apothecary Diaries Season 2, we had Haka Ryoran. Dawn to Dawn Season 2, we had On the Way. Rock is a Lady's Modesty, we had Ray to Rock. From Dr. Stone, we had Casanova Posse. And from Apocalypse Hotel, we had Skirt. And by the way, Miles is coming into this completely blind. He has no idea about the nominations until right now. So Miles, your first thoughts on the top 6 OPs of the year.
So this has what I would initially put my top 3 at in here. So I'm always happy about that, right? I think these are all good choices. The one thing that I think is a little different than the other ones is Skirt, where I think the audio aspect of that is like fine, but nothing special. But it's the one that's like completely carried by its visuals.
Yes,
I think
100%.
Which is interesting, but it was very good. I'm really excited to see Ready to Rock on there. I loved that OP. Rock is a Lady's Modesty was maybe even like my surprise show. I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise knowing me, but like, I don't know, my dark horse of the year sort of thing, where I just got pumped to watch that show every week. All that being said, I'm going to vote for Kill Kiss.
That's a good one.
I love that OP. I love the visuals. It's sort of similar to my OP of the year last year, which is Wrong World. So we're just continuing the trend.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you have it? What stands out here to you?
Yeah. So obviously, because I came up with these nominations, so I want to give a little bit of a background and sort of like how I come to these conclusions, because like some of these shows like Dr. Stone, I didn't watch Dr. Stone. So sort of what I did this year was, you go into YouTube and you type in like top 50 OPs of 2025. And so I did that with a couple of different videos, and I just like sort of closed my eyes and zoned out for like an hour and just kind of listened to like what really stood out to me. And those lists as well, seeing like what songs are popping up on that list in like the top 10. This was one that was like consistently I saw on a bunch of people's lists for like some of the top OPs of the year, and I just thought like the song was a banger, so I thought I had to include it. You were right with Skirt. It is heavily on here for its animation, but I think more than anything, it just how much that animation like stood out to what Apocalypse Hotel was. I think a lot of people just like love the OP and got into the show because of seeing that. So and a couple of the other ones, just like the songs themselves are just like insane, like Kill Kiss, like you mentioned, probably your OP of the year.
Yes.
Just an incredible song. So it's a mix of like
Very good visuals there too.
very good. Yes,
that
yeah,
fit the show.
yeah.
So
The carousel and everything with it. So I just tried to do my best to pick the top 6, and just so I'm not like super biased, my OP of the year isn't on this list. So I think that's 3 years in a row where my favorite OP does not make the list itself. So yeah, my OP of the year was Gachi Yakuda's OP. I thought it was just such an incredible song that sounded like System of a Down that we don't really get from anime, that I fell in love with that song. So that's kind of how I got to it, and that's how we got to these 6 nominations. So any final thoughts on these before we move on to ED?
no, there's nothing here that I would really be upset with winning. You know, I guess like yeah, I think it's just all very good. And I think we have a good representation of like different types of songs and everything. So good job figuring that out.
Thanks. And if, like I said before, if anyone out there hasn't listened to them in the voting, go check them out. There's links, listen to them, and then make a decision off of that. So with OPs, you have to come to the end as well. So we have our nominations for Best ED. Those are from My Dress Up Darling Season 2, we had Kawaii Kawaii. From Medalist, we had Atashi no Dress. From Call the Night Season 2, we had Namur. We had to get Creepy Nuts on here somehow. From Shoshiman Series Season 2, we had Sugar Riddle. From Dr. Stone, again, we had No Man's World. And from Arknights, we had Truth. Miles, thoughts on the EDs?
Well, first, bad day for Arknight fans. So, that's okay. The EDs are interesting to me, just seeing this, because I think it's just kind of like a weak ED year.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
When I think about my favorite EDs this year, the ones that come to mind are ones from fall, and I wonder if that's just because they were like immediately in my head. I like remember the Medalist one. I really liked that. Nothing else really stands out to me. I like the My Dress Up Darling like visuals on this, right? Like the pastels and stuff are very fun. Yes, it's very good. My ED of the year is not on here, though I will not get to vote for it because I don't there's no secret Miles category like there is a secret Pete category.
True.
But I don't even know the name of my favorite. So mine would have been the one from May I Ask for One Final Thing, which I loved. But this is interesting to me. What was the thought on the Arknights one?
Okay, so this is like the opposite of Skirt, because if you watch the ED, it's like a slideshow. But when I was listening to the song, it didn't feel like an anime ED. It felt like a motion picture song. Like I thought it was like the production and everything that went into the actual song itself was next level. So I fell in love with the song as soon as I heard it. I don't even watch Arknights. I didn't even know. I mean, I kind of knew, but like didn't really know that there was a new Arknights even airing this year. So when I heard this, I was like, this has to be included, and it just happened to be Arknights. But you mentioned something earlier with it being a weak ED year, and I just think in general for OPs and EDs, it was a weak year. I feel like the last couple of years we've had like a standout in one of the two categories. We had like Bling Bang Bang Born last year, and then we had like Idol, and then the year before that was like Lost in Paradise from JJK. Like every year, I feel like we have like a standout, either OP or ED. This is the first year in a couple of years where I feel like we don't have one that like really stands out. Like we have bangers, don't get me wrong, but we don't have an Idol. We don't have a Bling Bang Born. We don't have Lost in Paradise. So
yeah, I agree. Oh, actually, like okay, like confession time. I really don't like Bling Bang Born, but like
I don't either. But I get it.
Okay, yeah, that's.
I'm not saying
like,
it's good, but it was a standout.
It's the objective standout one. But yeah, this is a lot of categories I think are going to be kind of wide open. And I think this is a time where there's a lot of things you could argue to be in various places that, but you have to make the cut somewhere, right? And it's a little arbitrary. But I feel like a lot of times it's pretty clear cut, and then you're like, okay, let's think of one or two more, but like you can sort of fit anything in there, right? For a lot of these, I think, especially the OP and ED category.
Yep. So, fun little perk, if you join our Discord, you get access to some of the things we do before. And one of the things that you get to do is vote early for Anime of the Year. So we've already gotten actually a very good turnout so far for just our Discord. And like you said, I think that some of these categories are going to be, I think, like a shot in the dark. Like I think like 4 or 5 of these nominations of different categories can win. And as of right now in Best ED, we have a 4-way tie for second. So just early voting so far, it kind of is showcasing that a lot of these are going to be, you know, you might only win with 15% of the vote versus other years we've had like 60% of the vote winners. So ED's looking like it's going to be a toss up, and hopefully people like our 6th nomination. So
is it possible to win with 15% of the vote?
Yes, because you can no vote. So
okay,
so there's technically 7 options.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. Okay, so that is our music part. So now we're going to start diving into the characters. We have our best boy nominations of best boy. Here we go. We got Tsukasa from Medalist. We have Rintaro from The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. We have Gilbert from Anne Shirley. We have Tsubaki from Windbreaker Season 2. We have Gojo from My Dress Up Darling Season 2. And we have X from 2B Hero X. And Miles is super happy to see X on there. So Miles, your thought on Best Boy?
Okay, so these are all. I don't know the Windbreaker character, but I like their personality based on this clip of them. Everyone else here makes a lot of sense. I'll always stand Anne Shirley. I can't wait to see Anne in Best Girl because, of course, you wouldn't have left her off that list. It's the only category I've looked at to see if she was on there. She was not. I have words, but we'll get to that in one category, I believe.
Yes, you are. What if I just skip Best Girl and so we don't have to bring it up?
This is like a really tough category for me. I think this is like the most stacked Best Boy has been, and also X for some reason is on here. Character that appears in 2 episodes of their show,
that
more or
not
less.
True. It's a little bit more.
Maybe 3.
I think it's 3. It's like episode 1, and then I think like the Queen fight.
I forgot episode 1. Yeah. I forgot that. Now, admittedly, is really cool when he's on screen. I just feel like what you did, and I want to be clear, I mean this derogatorily, even though I like the show that I'm about to do. It would be like if Sung Jin Woo was in 2 episodes of a show, and then you picked him for Best Boy. I'll
see that for the Crunchyroll Awards. They could do that.
Yeah, that's fair. 2B Hero X, of course, will not be allowed in the. Technically not an anime per the strictest definition of anime, but here at What Do You Say Anime, we don't really care.
Don't give a shit.
Is there? How come? Explain the X pick to me. That's the only one I'm confused. And is it just because he's cool as fuck? Because admittedly, cool as fuck.
Yes. So Best Boy doesn't always necessarily needs to be the best, the most developed character, the most fleshed out character. Sometimes it could just be the coolest character. And I think something with X is that while he's only showcasing a couple episodes, sort of like his presence is always in the show as well. So like we kind of have this, I don't know, like different type of characterization of X, even when we don't see him, because we know he's like the number 1 ranked person in their society. He beats Queen in a fight that's only lasts like 12 seconds. So like we have like an idea of like who he is as a character. And I think that the time that he has to shine in the show itself, when he's actually on screen, he captures every moment of it. So I just thought he's probably the coolest. Like it's like Gojo from JJK, where like he's just cool as shit. Like it doesn't matter. X is kind of the same way. X is just cool as shit. So I added him. Subi,
I think if I liked the show more,
yeah, you hate.
I'd probably be cool. I do. It's just not a good show, and like that's okay. Not every show needs to be good. There's definitely one category that I think should actually just entirely be this show.
You're gonna go with biggest disappointment, aren't you?
No, best fight.
Yeah.
Listen, look, I don't like the show. I think the writing is really bad. There are actually like I play it up. The set pieces, the characters, a lot of it is good. If you don't care that there's like 47 plot holes an episode, it's a good show.
Yeah,
I do. So it's bad.
You do, yeah. And I like
but X is really cool. X is great. His fight scene is amazing, and I hope to see it whenever we get to that. For this, I think I just have to go Tsukasa. I just can't imagine not going to Tsukasa, and so I will be.
Fair.
But I think like for me, it was between Rintaro, Gilbert, and Tsukasa. But Tsukasa is just such a good character.
Yeah,
so
he's fantastic. And this is, as of right now, for voting, Best Boy is the exact opposite of ED. We have a landslide, so go vote.
God, shout out Tsukasa.
Maybe not. Well, we did our Best Boys. Let's get to our Best Girls. Our nominees for Best Girls are Hana from April Showers Bring May Flowers, Inori from Medalist, Oguri Cap from Cinderella Grey, Yachio from Apocalypse Hotel, Scarlet from May I Ask for One Final Thing, and Anko from Call of the Night Season 2. Miles, I think you watched 2 of these shows. What are we thinking?
Pete, I watched 4 of these shows.
Damn!
Apocalypse Hotel, Cinderella Grey, May I Ask for One Final Thing, and Medalist.
Oh, yeah.
Pete, you know I've watched these shows.
Yeah, but I'm trying to throw you under the bus.
That's fair. I do plan on getting around to April Showers Bring May Flowers by the time we do Winners.
It's on Prime, everybody. Go watch it.
Despite the fact that it is relatively me-coded, I've never really meshed with Call of the Night, unfortunately, so that's not going to be on my list. Pete, I gotta say, I think this is the most disappointed I've ever been in a Pete category. You usually do a really good job.
What's wrong with these? Because Anne's not there.
First off, there's no Anne Shirley. Second off, if I was making my list of 6, 2 of these people would be on it. It would be Inori and Scarlet.
Yeah, of course.
Yachio isn't even best girl in her show.
Debatable.
No offense to Yachio. She's a great character, but she's not Ponko.
They're gonna say the
Oguri Cap. The door. Well, okay. Look,
I guess we're not trying to. Boy.
Yeah, I do think we should mention here. Mao Mao is specifically not allowed in this because she won twice in a row, and Pete's trying to give someone else a victory. He doesn't believe in a true democracy. What?
No fascism here. No kings, and also no queen. That means you have a 2-term limit. Mao Mao won both her terms. She's done. She's living her best life.
You have to let her go. You have to let her go to 4 like FDR did before they made the rule.
I think being a 2-time winner is enough. I think
it's fine.
I think everybody knows if Mao Mao was nominated, she would win. So just have that caveat.
That is correct. To me, this is between Inori and Scarlet on this list, with Yachio is like a 3rd. Oguri Cap, I don't think is like a top 73 girl this year. I'd put her strictly at 74, I think, after doing some math. She's fine. She's a horse girl. She does horse girl things. She eats food. She's kind of just like if Special Week was slightly more serious.
And funnier and had a better personality and had a better cast around her.
Better cast?
Oh, yeah. I thought the cast of Cinderella Grey was incredible.
Really?
Yeah. Got the Ace Norn. That's my girl.
Okay.
We
disagree on horse girl things.
This is why Miles doesn't get invited to parties anymore, because he has a kid and he doesn't like Oguri Cap.
Yeah, this is one that feels pretty wide open to me because knowing our Discord, Oguri is just going to run away with it because we just have a lot of Uma people. But it does go to the wider audience, and so I think like Yachio and Nori have a chance, and then Scarlet from a show that is like less good than these other shows, but just a standout performance and an amazingly likable character. So I think she probably has a chance too. Now, Pete, I think I'm counting Hannah out fairly, just because this sort of seems like a little like a Pete pick. Not that that's wrong or anything, but it just seems a little niche. Like this, I don't remember a lot of people talking about this show.
Well, that's because not a lot of people watched it because a lot of people couldn't.
And so yeah. So I'm not trying to say she doesn't belong here. I'm just saying this is like a little niche. I don't expect her to win.
That's fair.
Sell me on Anko from Call of the Night.
Yeah, so I mean, we got introduced to Anko's character in season 1, where she was more of a behind-the-scenes / supporting character. This season was a real focus on Anko and sort of how she became the person that she is in the story. I don't want to give out too many spoilers, and I just thought how it was presented. I really like it when shows sort of pass the torch for like 8 episodes and give a support character like the main focus, and that's what they did with Anko, and it really did a great job of showcasing her character and sort of the relationship with, was it Nazuna, I think is her name is, and sort of how their relationship became to what it is in the show today. So just everything like resonated really well with me with Anko's character and just how it was fleshed out and developed and just the conclusion of everything. I thought that she was one of the best girls of the year, so I included her.
Count it. The one thing, and I haven't watched this yet, there's another show that I'm going through as I gear up to be able to talk about things better when we see our winners. But I guess I'm surprised to see Marin not on here, just with how popular the series was, especially season 2.
Yep.
Now, I haven't seen it, so did she take a back seat, or?
Yeah, I would say season 2, well, while she still is like a great character and was heavily focused. It's not like she wasn't focused. Because we have more characters and a larger cast with season 2, because we got introduced to them in season 1. I would just say like the majority of the cast sort of took a backseat. Like backseat's a wrong word, but it's like they're less of a focus. So the impactful moments of specific characters this year, I don't think Marin had as many as other characters, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. And one more, oh my God, I can't spell as I make sure I get names right.
And it's
one more person.
A-N-N-E.
Yeah. Well, okay. Look, she should be on here, but she's not, and that's okay.
I can tell.
It's not. I won't forgive you, but that's okay. I'm trying to think about who, like, you know, what the population at large might think. And while they all agree with me that you left Anne off, and that is a huge shame.
Yep.
Because she is maybe the best fictional character of all time. Karuko Waguri seems like another person that a lot of people might expect to be on here. Now, I agree. But what was your thought process on the omission? I agree that she should have been omitted, but that's a little hot on my heart. So I want to, you know, for our Wagiri fans out there, what was your thought process there?
Sure. Yeah, I guess in terms of female leads and like romances, I don't think she was like top 3, to be honest. Like I thought this year was really good for romance, and a lot of the female leads in those I thought outshined her. I think Fragrant Flower is just way more popular than other shows. And so I was considering adding her, but I just don't think she measured up to the level as someone like Hana did in April Shower. And some of the other romances shows like Can You Keep a Secret at Work? I thought the female lead in that show was better than Waguri. Whether I can't think of it off the top of my head, but like Yano-kun had the other girl that dates Yano. I thought she was a better character than Waguri. So
yeah, no, I think that's all fair. I think for me, and this is rare, but I thought Rentaro was like the standout in Fragrant Flower. Like I thought he was great. He had like the more interesting character development and thought process and all of that. So
yep.
You know, if you had to pick one, I would have picked Rentaro. I know she and the show are popular, so I wanted to get that on record.
And I've read Fragrant Flower, and I like Waguri's character, but if we're talking specifically anime in season 1, the best girl from Fragrant Flower is Rentaro's mom. Like, if anything, she should be nominated over Waguri. But I was actually thinking of nominating the mom too, but I don't think she had enough time. But that. I love her, and I love her dad.
No, she's a great character. Yeah. So I was really surprised when there was a dad. By the way.
Yep. Living and supportive, and is in the show.
Because it really comes off in like the first 4 episodes, like she's a single mom, and then like all of a sudden the dad's working at the bakery, and I'm like, oh. Damn, and apparently he has a brother.
I was saying there's another twist, but you just spoiled it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, it's not really that big of a spoiler. It's not like his brother is like off at war or something. He just has a brother.
Yeah. Okay. What do we got next? Unless
Okay.
we have more to talk about.
Nah, that's Best Girl. So for everybody who's like, why is Hana on here? Go on Amazon Prime and go watch April Showers. Because that's not the last year you're going to hear of April Showers. Our last character nomination, this one's a fun one. It's Best Non-Human. This is any character that is technically not like a human being. They could be like humanoids. They could be human-like, but they're not humans. So our nominations are Ponko from Apocalypse Hotel, Sui from Campfire Cooking Season 2, Yu from With You in the Rain, Chiori from This Monster Wants to Eat Me, QJ from Zenshu, and Hikaru from The Summer Hikaru Died. Miles, what are we thinking?
I think we did a pretty good job here. If
Thank
Sui
you.
wins and there's a next season, she can't be nominated, and that's sad.
Yes.
But what do you do? I'm glad to see Ponko get nominated for something. How did you decide between Ponko and Yachio
You want me
for
to be
Best
honest with you?
Non-Human? Yeah.
I like Yachio more than Ponko. That's it. That's it. I liked one character more than the other.
Okay. So this is the less good category in your mind than Best Girl.
I mean, not necessarily, because this is more of like a for fun category. Like,
Okay,
other ones
so
I like
because
to
you
be,
couldn't.
I like to be critical
you could've-
sometimes. This is not one of them.
Okay, you could have like doubled up on Yachio and like I guess Ogiri technically.
Yep.
Is Anko a vampire?
No. No.
Okay.
I don't want to do any spoilers, but no.
Okay. Is she a human? Okay, so you could have tripled up on this.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying she is. I'm not saying she isn't. I'm not saying anything.
Love to see Shiori get some rep here. While not my favorite girl from the series, I think she fits Best Non-Human the best out of the cast, as she is the most opposed to the sort of concept of humanity. I gotta say, I don't even remember QJ from Zenshu, like, at all.
He's the R2D2 of their hero group or whatever. He's like the support character. He sacrifices himself in an episode. He's kind of a comedic relief a little bit. He flies.
Not remembering anything.
Well, you're not voting QJ then.
I'm not. Here's a spoiler alert. Wasn't gonna happen. Hikaru is interesting. God, this is a show that I should like so much, and I've tried getting through it twice now and have failed both times. And I don't know why. It's just something about it just doesn't quite vibe with me. I'm like 6 episodes through, so I haven't like seen the full thing. I might just drop it at this point. What do you think here, Pete?
I mean, for me, it's there's a couple that were like real standouts. There's a couple in here that, well, it's more of like I try to get like the vast field, because if you know me, you know what like my top 2 are. So I try to include some other non-humans that I thought were standouts this year, and a little bit harder this year because normally I try not to do characters like Shiori, because 90% of the time she is in like a human form, but technically not a human. And same thing with Hikaru. But I thought they were both fantastic characters, and that's why I wanted to add them. And then I like to try to get a mix. QJ was like a fun comedic relief R2D2 character from Zenshu. You didn't say a word in the entire show, but would sometimes write things down on a notebook, and then people would be like, wow, your dog can write Japanese. And then like, that's not a dog. But yeah, this is just a for fun category, and I thought these 6 represented pretty fun non-human characters.
It was easy. I think that's what you was saying there, but could be wrong. What I want to say about Shiori and Ponko to a lesser extent, it is very important that they are not human to the plot and like themes of their shows. So even though they are sort of more humanoid, I think it's fair. I think it's a fair shout, because, you know, it's not like this human wants to eat me. It's this monster wants to eat me.
Correct. She's a monster and she wants to eat somebody. Okay, so that is our best non-human. We are done with the characters. We are now moving on to the shows themselves. So we are starting with some punchy boys. We're starting with best action. Last year, this was best action and adventure. Split them up this year because I felt like it leaned heavily towards action, and I think adventure should sort of be its own category. So this year is just best action. Our nominations are Windbreaker Season 2, Dawn to Dawn Season 2, My Hero Academia The Final Season, Gachiakuda, 2B Hero X, and Anda. Miles, best action. We got some heavy hitters, literally and figuratively. What are we thinking?
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that you don't have Solo Leveling Season 2 on here.
You are correct. I don't.
That's better than most of these shows, and that's okay. It's okay.
Maybe if you watch these other shows, maybe you would know.
I've watched several of them, in fact.
Actually, I watched 5 this time, Pete.
Not that many. Action has never been my forte.
Same. And the next category, I definitely needed help from the community for. So you'll see why.
I've heard good things about most of these shows. I've heard good things about 2B Hero X, but that show, again, I will point out, it is just not a good show, and that's okay. People might think it's ironic that I'm saying that while pumping up Solo Leveling, and to that I'd say Solo Leveling has completely plot hole free writing because the writing is very simple. He's solo level.
It's true.
So
it's true. That man can solo level.
Sonda is a good shout. Though I must say, I don't think the action in it was particularly great. Like, it was fine.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Well, I think the show is good, and I liked some of the action sequences, but to me it was more of the character drama stuff that like stuck out to me about Sonda than any of the, like, I don't really remember any of the fight scenes. Like, I guess I would be surprised if a Sonda fight showed up in Best Fight whenever we got around to that. And not that it won't, like, it could just be slipping my mind, but I just don't really remember anything. Because, like, even that climactic fight, it was a little fine from, like, a visual aspect. Like, it was whatever.
Yeah, I feel you. The laundromat fight, though, that shit went hard.
Laundromat fight was pretty good. That was pretty good. I will say that. Okay, I guess I could see that being on our best fight list if that's on our best fight list.
It might be.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about? You're going to know more about these than me. This seems fine. I do think Solo Leveling 2 just sort of a big omission. I think there's a very good chance it just wins Anime of the Year at the Crunchyroll Awards.
I mean, and season 2 is better than season 1. So by my logic, it should win Anime of the Year at Crunchyroll.
A lot of good fights and stuff in that. Really good action. I was kind of ready to talk about it because it sort of seemed like a no-brainer. But please, Pete, explain these to me.
Don't worry, Solo Leveling will be on a list of
biggest disappointment.
Biggest disappointment. I gave Solo Leveling season 2 an 8. So
hey, count it. So do you have all of these at above an 8?
Not necessarily. So I dropped My Hero Academia, so I don't know what happened this season.
I've heard good things about it, though. I've heard people liked it, like the ending.
Same, and that's what I mean. That's why I included it. Like, everybody had raving reviews for it.
Yeah, no, I think that I don't think any of these inclusions are like unfair, because even though I don't like To Be Hero X, the action in it is absolutely insane. Like, it's so good. Yeah. So that's fair.
Yeah. Best action is focused on the action.
Makes sense to me.
This is the best screenwriting category. One of the omissions that I purposely left off, even though I feel like it is one of the top 6, but I don't know if it's just people like forgot or it just wasn't, or because of when it aired, but ReZero's 3rd season had a lot of good action in it. I was a big fan of sort of them leveling up the action in this season. It was really nonstop the entire time. Sonda, because Sonda for me was like, it had enough fight, because like it didn't have like, I wouldn't say like one huge fight, but it had like 4 or 5 like really good fights. I remember like the first time where like he can turn his feet into like skis, so elements like that in the fights, and then he like skis in the fights were like I thought those were like really fun like action scenes, so that's why I wanted to include it. You mentioned 2B Hero, insane. My Hero, classic. It ended this season. Dawn to Dawn season 2. The last episode is a giant like kaiju mech battle. It's filled with action the entire time. Just starting out with Gigi's arc. Windbreaker, I mean, it's literally just fighting the whole time. And this season we had like this public space fighting, and Gachi had a lot of combat throughout, and we'll be seeing that in best fight. So I to me, maybe not my top 6 that I would personally pick, but I thought these 6 represented the category well enough.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Here's a question for you. We recently watched a movie that premiered in there in this year, though we only got it this year. Would you put the Zombieland Saga movie with its action-packedness into a category like this if you had seen it when you made these?
If we're talking movies and in terms of action, I think I would either pick Uma Musume or 100 Meters for its action, I would say, because to me that's action. And
I just realized there's going to be a fucking Uma Musume fight in best fight. I'm gonna be so annoyed because they just run in a fucking straight line. It's actually curved. I lied. They run and turn left.
Good transition. You know what? Let's just jump right into best fight then. Unless you have
that next?
Unless you have something you want to talk about with best action, but I think that's a good.
No, let's see what we got here.
Okay, so best fight, because Miles mentioned it, and I've done this before. I think a fight doesn't necessarily have to be punches. It's whatever battlefield you are on and competing in or battling on, that is a fight to me. So in the past, I've had Haikyuu matches, and I'm doing it again this year. So the first one I'm gonna point out is the Japan Cup from Uma Musume Cinderella Grey. So that was the Tamino Cross and Obey Your Master race. To Be Hero had a bunch of different choices, and I tried to do one show per category. That way it doesn't like split the votes. I think you could have gone the Queen fight. I decided to pick X versus Everyone, the last episode of To Be Hero. We also had Bakugo versus All for One in My Hero Academia. We have the Space Kangaroo versus Aliens fight from Apocalypse Hotel. We have the Cleaners versus Bundus from Gachi Akuta, and Shin versus Mafayu in Sakamoto Days. That was the plane fight. So, Miles, we can probably be quick on this one. Any thoughts on best fight?
I see that there's no solo leveling season 2 in here, Pete. That's also interesting to me.
When I asked the Discord for everyone's favorite fights of the year, nobody mentioned that one. So I didn't.
Yeah, it's our Discord, Pete. Of course they wouldn't.
Hey, people outside of Discord also hate solo leveling, so who knows?
Did anyone mention the Arknights ED on Discord when you asked?
Probably Eagle, since he watched it. Checkmate.
Yeah, probably.
Checkmate.
Okay. Shout out to Eagle, who's seen every anime. This is interesting to me. This isn't the Apocalypse Hotel fight I would have picked.
You picked, I think, 2 or 3. I would have picked this fight.
Yachio versus Punko.
Oh, when she turns into a tank? That one?
Yes.
Yeah, that one's really good too.
That would have been it. This also is not the To Be Hero X fight that I would have picked, but I also, if you could have more than one, even though I've been talking shit about it all this time, would just have 6 fights from To Be Hero X.
I like legit no cap. Like this could be 6 fights from To Be Hero.
Yeah, I'm going to vote for that. It's such a good fight. You know what? That is a horse race. Everything else, though, I think is a pretty good choice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll take 5 out of 6.
Yeah, look, it ain't bad, and we know where our differences lie, and it's with Cinderella Grey.
Okay. Yeah. and you're wrong, and that's fine because people are voting on it. So you're wrong. That's just how it works.
Our Discord, which actually had an intentional influx of people who specifically like, if you join the Discord, learn about the Discord lore, and the time there was sort of like a bleeding Kansas, but for people who like Uma Musume.
You play the hand that's dealt to you. And you know what? If people who like Uma Musume like our content, who am I to deny this staple?
You know what? And more power to them, because the content is usually you being sad as the rest of us on the proper podcast don't like it. So
yeah, so check out our Uma Musume reviews.
Yeah, where he just looks distraught at the end.
True. I am big sad. So okay, so that's best fight. We've done best action and adventure in the past, so now we're breaking them up. So now we're going to do best adventure.
I'm excited to see what we got here.
Yeah, and so I kind of want to do this because there's a lot of different like ways to view adventure. Like
Yes.
The goal you're going to can be for fun. It could be to solve a problem. It could be to defeat the evil bad guy. It could be a whole bunch of different things. So that's why I wanted to focus specifically on the adventure aspect and have its own category. So our nominations are: we had Mono, Campfire Cooking in Another World Season 2, Dr. Stone's Science Future, Milky Subway, Tabi, That's Journey, and Miles Solo Leveling Season 2. Because that dude goes a lot of places in Season 2. So, your thoughts on Best Adventure?
So, I want to give you the full range of emotion. We're doing Best Adventure. I go to look at it. I'm looking at it for the first time, right? I see Mono. The first thing that happens is I roll my brain, not even my eyes. But then like a sense of warmth and happiness flushes over me because this is you, Pete, and these are your awards, and I respect that, at least for this Mono pick. They go on little adventures. Would anyone else in the world consider this an adventure anime? No.
What?
But do you? No, Pete, no one
Dude,
would.
This is an adventure anime for sure. Going on adventures to take pictures all over Japan is an adventure.
No one else in the world would consider this an adventure anime.
Fool.
But you would. And that, I think, this is what I'm saying, is that is good. I like it. I like the inclusion of it. I think it fits us, our branding, and you specifically. Because it is, like, it's a real life. It's a very down-to-earth slice of life adventure, right? They're not going to save the planet like almost everyone else in this category is in some fashion. But they are going to take pictures. I bet you're just upset that you didn't think of including Yuru Camp on Best Adventure whenever that could have happened.
It depends on how much adventuring they do. Some seasons more than others, but...
Okay, I've only seen the one, so...
That's fair.
But Mono was fun, and they do go on adventures. So I like the inclusion. Everything else seems good to me. I'm trying to I don't think there's anything that's really screaming at me like, hey, this wasn't included. Anything that you struggled with, like your final cuts or anything?
No, I actually had... This one was really fun because I wanted to sort of get a different definition of adventure and try to pick shows that I think the main focus is like going somewhere to do something in order to achieve that goal. And so like Mono, like the big focus of it was like going to different spots and taking pictures and stuff like that. Campfire Cooking was going on adventure to get the next meal. Dr. Stone, going on adventure to save humanity. Milky Subway, going on adventure to get out of prison. Tabi is literally just about traveling Japan. It's, if you are planning on going to Japan and you want to see like real life landmarks in anime, watch Tabi. And then Solo Leveling, the dude just goes all over the place and does a bunch of different shit. So I wanted to get 6 shows that I felt encompass some form of adventure, and this was a really easy category to get 6 of.
Okay, great. Yeah, I like it. I like this expanded. Now, I said no one would think of it that way, but that's more of a compliment to you, that it's not a criticism, unlike the exclusion of Anne Shirley, which was a criticism. This is a good job thinking outside of the box. I really like this. All that being said, I will be voting for Solo.
For people who have never heard of Milky Subway, go on YouTube. It's an hour long. It is fantastic. It was done by one person, and it should be like an entire series. It's a fantastic, and it has a dub. Like, it is a fantastic show. Go check out Milky Subway. But yeah, hopefully people like the Best Adventure. Another one that we kind of have like a mix of, which is this category, which is Best Fantasy or Sci-Fi. And so the reason why it's or Sci-Fi is because we kept running into sci-fi shows where like there are 2 big standouts, and it's really hard to place them. So we, or I guess me, a lot of the sci-fi things sometimes are not necessarily rooted in like real life. So I just kind of included in fantasy because it's sometimes it can be a little fantastical. So that's kind of why we lumped fantasy or sci-fi together. So our nominations for those are ReZero Season 3, Apocalypse Hotel, Meibashi Witches, Secrets of the Silent Witch, Soul Leveling Season 2, and Milky Subway again. Miles, we know you're voting Soul Leveling, but what about these other nominations?
Well, I might not be voting Solo Leveling because Apocalypse Hotel exists. However, I need to say, and I understand why it happens, but all the awards bring in fantasy and sci-fi is like one thing, and they're like honestly diametrically opposed, but that's whatever. One is like actually really grounded in reality, like hard sci-fi, and the other is not fantasy. This is interesting. I feel like there's a lot of shows that could get this, depending on how much fantasy you want there to be. As for one final thing, is something that I might think about putting in there. Probably in like the Meibashi Witches slot. Another thing is like This Monster Wants to Eat Me.
Yep.
Is another thing that I would consider in there. I think maybe that's sort of the things that would get there if there were enough sci-fi shows for 6 sci-fi shows.
Yeah.
That's you don't want to have to stretch sci-fi and put Lazarus in there, buddy. Like
Lazarus is nominated for something. You will.
I can only imagine. Zenshu is another one that I know a lot of people liked.
That was on the cutting block. That was number 7.
Yeah. Okay.
I really like Zenshu.
Yeah. So I think the only downside to combining these categories is that there's a lot of good fantasy in anime, and even though there's not a lot of good sci-fi, really, I gotta say these shows aren't even like particularly hard sci-fi either. Like Apocalypse Hotel, I don't know about Milky Subway yet, but Apocalypse Hotel more or less is a fantasy show.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like so none of this is like the 3-body problem or anything. So it's fine to do that. I don't think I know anything about Secrets of the Silent Witch. Tell me about that.
That was Bochi the Witch.
Oh.
So essentially there's like 7 head mages in the world, and she's one of them, but she like never talks, so a lot of people don't even know that she's like the Silent Witch. So it's a really fun, it's a really good show. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I like that setup. I think I like that better than, I mean, do they play her silence for comedic effect, or is she
there is some, but it also has like some real moments, but it does does do like the
you're allowed to make joke about things, right? But like you're actually allowed to do whatever the hell you want, right?
True. There are no rules.
There are no rules. It's all made up, the points don't matter. But yeah, there's a lot of good categories here, or a lot of shows here in this single category. The ReZero Season 3 feels like one of those things that is just going to get lost because we got like the second half of it in the first season of this year, and it's just people I think associate it more strongly with last season. But I wonder if seeing it will sort of spur that, or if something like Apocalypse Hotel or whatever will take charge of it there.
Yeah, it might win just based on name recognition, like, but we'll see. Right now voting is pretty tight, so it's really up to anything. So that is best fantasy and sci-fi. We're gonna move on to, this is what I think is the most stacked category, and that's best drama.
Let's see what we got.
Our nominations are Takapi's original Sin, Orb, Medalist, Cinderella Grey, The Summer Hikaru Died, and The Apothecary Diaries Season 2. I think, I don't even know. These are such good shows. Like I watched everything but Takapi because I didn't want to cry, and I have them all above a 9 or above. So, Miles, outside of Uma Musume, what are we thinking?
Okay. So obviously, I wouldn't have Uma Musume in here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe season 2 would change it. There wasn't really any drama in the first season of Cinderella Grey, but that's okay. Medalist. Oh god, I love Medalist so much. I mean, I think these are all really good shows. For some reason, I don't know. Is this a safe space, Pete?
It can be, depending on what you say.
I just kind of think The Monster Who Wants to Eat Me is better than The Summer Hikaru Died. Like,
that's fair. I think overall, I think people like Hikaru more, and that, but The Monster Who Wants to Eat Me was one of like, I had like 3 or 4 on the cutting block that I had a hard time like cutting, and that was one of them.
I think you're right that people like it more. I don't know why I because it's got everything I like, but it just, I don't know if the reveals are too soon. They just sort of like do this. There's no like tension building. It's just sort of like, hi, I'm a monster now, and it's like 30 seconds into episode 1. I don't know.
Hi,
I
I'm a
mean,
monster.
but we have a good, we've got some sports stuff. We have some historical fiction, and then we have some like fantasy drama and stuff here. So good choices all around. That being said, I will be voting for the Apothecary Diaries.
It's stacked, man. This is, I mean, you have like Takapi that almost has a 9 on Mal. Apothecary Diaries season 2 almost has a 9 on Mal. Orb has like an 8.6. Like, these are just stacked shows in a stacked category. I feel like this can go so many different ways. Like, Apothecary Diaries season 2, like, do people want to vote for something new? Because personally, I like season 2 more than season 1. But like, it's been dominating for the last couple of years, and then Orb, that's kind of like the ReZero thing, where like the second half finished this season. So I don't know how many people are going to be still on board with that, but I feel like this is Taco P's category to lose in terms of like public voting, but we'll see. I think this is a stacked category with a bunch of different options. So that is best.
It's interesting. I wouldn't consider it Taco P. I know that was like really popular, but like, it's just not as, not that we have the reach that it completely matters, like how popular a show is, right? Like, we're still hitting like a relatively niche area of the internet, but like, I don't know, Apothecary Diaries is just such a big name. Like, it's all the mainstream success and all of that we'll see. Maybe it's Taco P. I don't know.
Because I think I guess Apothecary is technically the highest rated, but Taco P had a lot of steam when it came out, and I still see people talking about it. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, it's a good show, and like, people really liked it when it came out.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see, because like, voter fatigue is like real. So
absolutely. Let's get to the.
I was going to say all very good shows here. Like, again, I talk my shit about Uma Musume Cinderella Gray. For like complete transparency, I gave the show an 8.
Yeah,
like I thought it was quite good.
For sure. Okay, let's move on to the second best category, and that is best slice of life. Our nominations are Catch Me at the Ballpark, Mono, Food for the Soul, Campfire Cooking Season 2, Ruri Rocks, and With You and the Rain.
You know how you made that joke about how I'd only seen one of these shows?
Yep.
And I was like, no, I've seen like, well, this is the time, Pete. I've only seen one of these shows.
All right, talk about it.
Mono. There are girls. They are in the photography club. They go on adventures around Japan. You might be wondering, how is the same show best slice of life and best adventure? And to that, I would say, shut up. Don't think about it too hard. They have a friend of their like person who sponsors their club.
Talk about it. I was just kidding.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. I was like, how long are you gonna talk about Mono for?
I was going to explain like the mangaka's subplot, but whatever, it's okay.
Let's check out Mono if you haven't. If you like slice of life. So how I came to these categories. I just thought this year was really good for slice of life, and I had a hard time picking like the last couple, because something like Ruri Rocks, I wasn't the biggest fan of, but like a lot of people are, and it is one of the best animated shows of 2025. So it felt like it should be included. So I would have put something like Zatsutabi over it, but that really wasn't as well received as something like as much as I liked it type of thing. But like things like With You in the Rain, Food for the Soul, Mono, Catch Me at the Ballpark, those are just, pun intended, home runs. They were very easy to select from. And this is the last couple. I was like, what had really good slice of life elements that people enjoyed? And so I selected Ruri Rocks and then Campfire Cooking, because people like cooking. So that's kind of how I came to these 6 nominations. And I think voting is very, oh my God. This one's going to be the biggest crapshoot, because right now it's a 4-way tie for first. So,
well, what happens when I vote for Mono, the only show I've seen?
It might be a 5-way tie for first.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
No, yeah, it would. It would be a 5-way tie for first.
Tell me, which one is not good enough to be in first place?
Not telling you.
can't believe Food for the Soul is in last place.
It's
That's
not.
crazy. Okay.
Oh,
Catch me in the ballpark?
you're just tricking me. This is Jedi mind tricks. This process of elimination to figure it out. Okay. Fair. So yeah, I think if people are big slice of life fans like I am, I think you would probably agree. I think most people would agree with like 4 of the 6 of these.
Okay.
Just try to get a good range of a bunch of different shows.
We're gonna have to trust you on this genre, as it happens every year when we go over these nominations. I don't watch Slice of Life very often.
Yep.
It's just not, I need anxiety in my life. Seeing other people calm makes me anxious.
Fair. Very fair.
Well,
let's move on to a category that hopefully you saw more than one, and that is Best Comedy. Who doesn't like a good laugh? Our nominations are City, the animation, April Showers Bring May Flowers, Rock is a Lady's Modesty, Apocalypse Hotel, From Bureaucrat to Villainous, The Dad Has Been Reincarnated, and My Dress Up Darling Season 2. This was tough. I had like 14 shows for Best Comedy, and I had to do a combination of like picking shows that I think deserved it, picking shows that are like popular, and then I let Discord select like the 6th one. So that's kind of how we got to these 6. I wanted to give shout-outs to shows like From Bureaucrat to Villainous because it was on High Dive and I think like 3 people watched it, but it was legit one of the funniest shows all year. Especially if you're a fan of otaku culture and sort of like the getting sucked into like a video game. It was the funniest version of like this stylish show. It was hilarious. So well crafted. One of the most underrated shows of 2025. I would highly recommend checking it out if you need a good laugh. So I had to include it. But Miles, your thoughts on the other nominations of Best Comedy?
Yeah, so the only thing that immediately strikes me as a glaring omission here would be May I Ask for One Final Thing, which is probably the show that I thought was the funniest.
So funny.
Yeah, I just always thought that show was funny. Just 100% of the time. Like Rock is the Lady's Modesty I thought was funny, but it was less of a comedy to me as it was like a drama sort of thing. Like that's sort of what I gravitated to it for. I know that this isn't really like a hot take. This is like a medium take. It seems like people either enjoy or don't enjoy the show, but I did not find City that funny. And it I think everyone sort of gets, you either think City is funny or you don't. It's not really a universal experience, but I do understand it being on there. Yeah, I mean, I get why it's on the list. Apocalypse Hotel was very funny too. Again, it's not a show that I really view as a comedy because I think the comedy is like more secondary to the more dramatic aspects of it. But again, it's a very funny show. Comedy is always like a hard category for me because a lot of shows have jokes in them, but like, are they actually like primarily focused on being comedies like City is, right? Like City is a comedy before it is anything else.
Correct.
And so, that is interesting. Yeah, this will be a tough one for me because, I liked 2 of these shows a whole lot. I thought the Bureaucrat to Villainous was fun. I only watched like 4 or 5 episodes, I think, but it was funny. And so, yeah, I think, is April Showers Bring May Flowers funny too? It's a funny show?
Hilarious. Oh,
well, okay. Well, I think it's funny.
I hope so. It does like miscommunication comedy. Like I'm not even kidding you. One of the best I've ever seen in anime. Okay. It is such a well-crafted comedy for like its style of show where like it's one of those shows where like going into it, you don't expect it to be as good or as funny as you think it is. And it's way funnier and way better than what you think it's going to be. Have you ever seen the movie The Nice Guy? It's Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe.
No.
Okay. Never. This is
I continue never having seen a movie.
This is. I always give this example because for everybody who has seen The Nice Guys knows how good that movie is, but like it doesn't look like it's as good as a movie you think it's going to be. So that's kind of what April Showers is like. It's The Nice Guys of anime. It's so good.
I'm looking at it and like the cover art looks like Wes Anderson like accidentally made like a
buddy cop.
Yeah, like a 2008 Will Ferrell comedy is like what the cover looks like.
It's so good. If you haven't seen The Nice Guys, watch it. It is phenomenal. Miles, do you have any thoughts on best comedy before we move to best romance?
No, I'm excited to see best romance. Oh my god, I'm yawning. I'm sorry.
It's 9:00. I get it. It's past your bedtime.
It is. Let's see what we got.
All right. So for best romance, your nominations are Can You Keep a Secret at Work? April Showers Bring May Flowers, My Dress Up Darling Season 2, The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, Yano Kun's Ordinary Days, and There's No Freaking Way I'll Be Your Lover Unless...
That made it, huh?
I had to include it. It is now the first ever Yuri on Mal to be above an 8.
Jesus Christ.
So for that, I'm not even kidding you. For that reason alone, I added it.
That I gotta say, as far as my favorite Yuris go, it's not up there. But you know what? Something's gotta do it.
Something's gotta do it. You're damn right, Miles.
I'm just a little shocked that was the one to break the barrier. But you know,
dude, okay. I had like 5. So this is what it was. I had 5 locked, and I needed a 6th spot, and I had like 15 shows. And I was like, I can't think of a way of how I can just get the 6th nomination.
Okay, wait, dude, I have some bad news for you. That show is a 7.7 on Mal.
What's its sequel?
With the No Way I'll Be Your Lover Unless?
Yep.
With a TV special?
Yep.
That is an 8.11.
And we take those, and we're counting it. That's part of the franchise.
Okay.
So because of that, and you know what? Fuck it. I like Yuri. Sue me. I needed a way to get a 6th show in here between 9 shows, and somebody tweeted that it was above an 8. I said, perfect. That is my logic of how I am selecting this 6th show. So that was the last one to be selected.
Yeah, no, I like count it, I guess.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it. I had to leave out, like, even though I know we both don't really like the show, like 100 Girlfriends didn't make it. I'm trying to think of like what other Rent a Girlfriend didn't make it, obviously. But there's a couple.
I would have put a star Brighter Than the Sun on here.
Star Brighter Than the Sun didn't make it. Yeah, but you know my thoughts on that. And if you don't know my thoughts on that, go listen to our review episode. And we'll give you my thoughts
to see the most unhinged take of all time.
My mom said I was on drugs that episode. She commented. She said Peter was on drugs this episode, and you know what, Mom? I was on drugs that episode. I was smoking copium.
And Awkward Senpai clearly deserves to be on here.
It does not.
Yeah, I think this is all fine. I don't know. Like, my thing with My Dress Up Darling Season 2 is like romance. I don't know. Like, people get together in a lot of these things. It's like we've sort of moved past the, like, as a society, I feel like the very drawn out will they, won't they sort of thing.
I mean, that's 100% fair. I just think, I don't know, My Dress Up Darling just makes it fun. Like, it's just...
No, I mean,
they do the trope better than other shows.
Yeah, look, sometimes you can do something that's tired and you do it really well, right? Yep. And, like, it breathes new life into it, like, in that way. I'm trying to think of what I'll vote for here. Probably Fragrant Flower. I really enjoyed that. That was a good time.
Yeah. Some of the shows that I would have wanted to include, but it's like a Harin season 2. Like, I think people forget that a Harin has a 2nd season, and I thought it was really good. So I would have included that, but like I understand that like a lot of people don't really watch it or remember it. Ranma, I know a lot of people enjoyed the 2nd season. Call of the Night had some more romance elements, but I don't know if I would have considered that. Like,
this monster wants to eat me, though.
That's it's like kind of, but like not really. It's one of those things.
I know. I was being cheeky.
Mother. Honey Lemon Soda would have been close. I think that would have been much more reciprocated if the beginning episodes were better. Yeah, I mean, this was just like a really good year for romances. So I had a hard time picking 6. Hopefully the one that you want to pick is on this list. But we got 3 more categories to get through, and then Miles can go to bed. We're going to continue on with like the romance elements. This is best ship. So how we do best ship is non-canon couple. So not confirmed to be in a relationship is how we consider what a ship is. So our nominations are we had Momo and Okarun from Dawn to Dawn season 2, Marin and Gojo from My Dress Up Darling season 2, Mao Mao and Jinshi from Apothecary Diaries season 2, Natsuko and Luke from Zenshu, Scarlet and Julius from May I Ask for One Final Thing, and Fuyumura and Ono from Sonda. What are we thinking, Miles?
I wish it was for people that weren't gonna get together. That's just my take on it.
Maybe we'll do that next year.
Okay, yeah. I just because like seeing it, it's like in my head, like if you're doing a ship, there's like some amount of like a hope and a prayer on it. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, and it doesn't have to be like that. There are like popular ships that happen or whatever, but like, you know, if Marin and Gojo don't get together at the end of My Dress Up Darling, I can't say that on YouTube.
He'll do something.
Yeah. You know, and Okarun and Momo are like clearly going to get together. Now, you know, I guess Fuyumura and Ono might not because you know,
they're cowards.
Dead.
Yep. Maybe.
And also they're cowards.
For spoiler reasons, they're cowards.
You know, so I guess like to me, this is like I understand the delineation. I don't think you're like wrong for doing it, but it's like it's a little hard to separate this from my head because they are couples, right? Like even Mao Mao and Jinshi are like a couple. Like maybe that won't happen. Like maybe there's like a 5% chance that one won't happen. But I feel like everything else here, it's pretty cut and dry, except for again the one where someone is dead, and if they don't come back, then that cannot happen.
Spoiler reasons, maybe.
Well, no, I mean like we okay. Yeah, that's fair. We talked about it like the last episode I recorded, so I guess in my head I'm continuing from there.
Sure.
But you don't know who died, random audience member.
Yeah.
Which one of those two people died? You don't know. So
other than you saying the person's name who was dead earlier.
You weren't listening to me.
I was. Maybe the listeners weren't.
Y'all don't want to hear me. You just want to dance.
I think we're having an on-air production meeting. I like that. I think next year we should go that route, but we're stuck now. So
no, that's fine. And I don't mind voting for this. I like all of these couples for the most part, right? Like,
well, these
I would pick. Sorry, I like all of these ships. It isn't even they're non-confirmed couples. They're still couples. Like even
that's true.
For our own diction.
They're not Facebook official. Yeah.
See, we just all know. Like I would ship Mao Mao with no one more than Jinshi, but like I am a realist and I like the not Momo girl more in Dan to Dawn. But other than that, I think this is Dan to Dawn. But like I do like Momo. Scarlet and Julius are like couple goals. What a girl! I'm gonna vote for them.
They're couple goals. Scarlet constantly beats the shit out of Julius, and Julius is just an asshole. Couple goals.
Yep.
The best.
Hey, love, if you're watching this, shout out to my wife Kayla.
The best it can be in the best ways possible. All right. Well,
okay.
We got our ships, so let's do our best couples. These are the confirmed couples in their shows. Nominations are Rintaro and Wagari from Fragrant Flower Booms with Dignity, Hana and Yosuke from April Showers Bring May Flowers, Yano and Yoshida from Yano-kun's Ordinary Days, Yui and Masagu from Can You Keep a Secret, Sei and Koki from A Star Brighter Than the Sun, and Kyoka and Mio from My Happy Marriage Season 2. Got a lot of squad goals here, Miles. Which squad goal do you like better?
Yeah, so, okay, none of these people are abusive to each other, so do I really want to pick any of them?
They're not the perfect couple anymore.
This is tough for me. There's a lot of good couples here. I'm excited to see Hana and Yosuke later this week when I watch that, Pete. I better like it.
You better, or I'll be very upset.
Sai and Koge, shout out for you getting over it and putting anything from the show on here. I love them as a couple.
I did this for you, by the way. I did this for you.
Did you? Oh my god, thank you. I appreciate it because I've clicked them. So
they are my vote.
Yeah, and I'm glad that My Happy Marriage Season 2 also got a nom here. There are a few places it could have fit, but I don't necessarily disagree with the fact that it wasn't included anywhere, but it could have.
Yeah. It was a good season. It wasn't a great season.
It was fine. Rentaro and Wagiri, I think, are a good couple. I think they'll probably win, right?
Maybe.
That's just my guess, I guess, because they had like a good confession scene. I define a good confession scene by if there are fireworks or not. Yeah, and so or a bonfire of some sort, or both even.
So that's why you voted a star brighter than the sun. That makes perfect sense.
Yes, because it does the Kaguya-sama thing.
It does so many shows. Fireworks so good.
Dude, fucking every time there's like a high school confession thing, it's like you must do it at the bonfire at the culture festival when the fireworks are going off, and I'm just like, wow, 10 out of 10 romance. Can't break that. What are you thinking here? Sell me on Yano and Yoshida and Yui and Masugi.
Well, yep. I want to give a shout out to Yano. Crunchyroll, every now and then they'll put out like YouTube clips that are like, I wouldn't say out of pocket, but for like anime out of pocket. So if you remember last year, they did the thing with Oshi from A Sign of Affection, where like the caption of the YouTube video was like, he learned sign language just to be a jerk. And so Yano did something really fun with this. It was like he speed ran the first 24 episodes because they confessed in like episode 5 or 6. And Yano is just super blunt. Did you watch Yano?
I watched a couple episodes, but I didn't even get to the confession scene.
So the confession scene is like in the middle of the classroom in front of everybody. Yano doesn't realize he does, but like doesn't at the same time realize.
He's unaware of the surroundings.
Yeah, like he's unaware that he is confessing to Yoshida in the moment. Yoshida clearly understands that he is confessing, and it's just a great moment. And then they sort of like, I thought they were gonna do one of those things where it's like Surizuri children, where it's like, oh, like I thought we were dating the whole time because of what you said, and then we're not actually. But they didn't do that. They actually like talked it out and be like, no, we're dating. So I really appreciated just sort of how they confess to each other, and then the follow up to just like confirm everything that like, their feelings together was awesome. They were a great couple. It reminded me a lot of Gigi Harem from last year.
Okay, great. It's a good couple. So.
Yeah, and I mean, once you watch April Showers, incredible couple. Can you keep a secret? I mean, that couple, they fuck on the first episode. Like, how many times do we get an adult cast show where they do adult cast thing? They go on a date, they get drunk, and they hook up. 10 out of 10. Incredible couple. I love it. I love it.
Yes, of course. Adult things that I've done in my life.
You have a kid.
I didn't get drunk on the first date.
Oh, true. You were too busy talking about rocks. My apologies.
Well, okay, you know what? We're not going to talk about this on air, but I have a story for you after the episode.
If you want to hear that story, subscribe to our tier 2 YouTube. I'm adding new perk. Outside of you getting live chat priority on our quarterly live streams, you now get access to Miles's secret story.
Yep.
We're
for only $500. A story that if you ever meet me, you could get out of me for the price of maybe one beer, maybe zero.
You're an easy date. I like that. Or since I'm not
somewhere
Miles,
between $0 and $7.
Yeah. And because I'm not Miles, it's $500. So okay, so that is best couple. We got one category left, and I completely forgot to mention this when we started, that every vote is a $3 donation to local food shop. That's a big thing, and I probably should have mentioned that. So your voting will help us out. So let's get to our biggest disappointment. Wait, what you got?
I just need to tell the story. When you said that, okay, if you guys haven't watched the I think it's the Zombieland Saga review episode, where you go over the anime of the year voting at the end of it. I know I'm donating $1 for each vote, but when you said $3, for whatever reason, in my head, I thought you were like, and Miles is going to donate $3. I thought you just tripled what I like
without telling you. So, you actually donated to my food shelf.
You see my face go like, and then I like do the math in my head. I'm like, wait a minute, that's just, I'm being stupid. But I was like, I didn't realize I had to do that much.
No, you're not being stupid.
Oh no.
So I'm
yeah, no.
for context, I'm donating $1 per vote to my local food shelf. Miles is donating $1 per vote to his local food shelf, and Pat is donating $1 to his local food shelf per vote. So that's where the $3 per vote comes in. So we're really helping out a bunch of communities. It'll be great, and especially in my community right now, we need it. So every vote matters. But moving on to our biggest disappointment, we do a biggest surprise as well, but this year we only could come up with 2 shows. So we just did a biggest disappointment.
What'd you have for biggest surprise?
Apocalypse Hotel, and I forgot the second one.
Okay, yeah, like we could just give it to Apocalypse Hotel.
Yeah, I think it would, because that's kind of my thing, was like, do I really want to add like 4 shows that were maybe a surprise when Apocalypse Hotel?
Can you ask for one final thing?
I think that was the second one. If I'm not mistaken.
Cool. Well, I just named the first 2. That means there's not a lot.
There really wasn't. I was struggling and I gave up the category. But biggest disappointment for a bunch of different reasons. Your nominations are Lazarus, One Punch Man Season 3, The Dinner Table Detective, Wand Dance, The Beginning After the End, and Gundam G-Cux. I guess I kind of want to give my explanation for why we picked these. So, Lazarus, if you've listened to our episode, we were all pretty down on it. We expected significantly more from Watanabe, who is a premier director, and Lazarus just missed the mark. One Punch Man Season 3, more of on the studio than like what we actually got, because from the details that we got, the story itself was a mess because of the rushing of the animators. And One Punch Man Season 3 turned out to be worse than One Punch Man Season 2. Dinner Table Detective, this was one that I had super high hopes for with the casting alone. The show itself was super boring. You weren't able to play detective in a show that's about being a detective. You're essentially watching somebody play a game. And it just did not hit the way that I expected it. Wand Dance, it's Madhouse. It has the worst CG maybe ever. Was a huge detriment to a lot of people's enjoyment of this series, and was just an overall, I would say, disappointment from the community. The Beginning After the End, which is one of the biggest manhwas, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's either a huge manhwa or light novel, but like it is an extremely popular franchise that just shit the bed in terms of production. And from what I saw, everybody who read this story hated the anime. And last but not least is G-Cux. My favorite anime podcast I've been listening to a lot lately is called Quest for the Best. And there's also a co-host named Miles, and he gave his biggest disappointment and biggest surprise to G-Cux. I just like that he did that. But G-Cux, I think overall very hit or miss for a lot of people. For someone like me who's not the biggest Gundam fan, who had a lot of fun watching Witch from Mercury, I did not like what G-Cux presented to us. And then fans of the series, of the Gundam franchise itself, was very all around. Like, it had really good production values, but I think the story got a little wonky in some spots. Like, my OST of the year was G-Cux, so I don't think it's necessarily bad. And overall, it had some incredible moments, but I think based off like its score and its expectations coming into it, it was just kind of a miss. So, Miles, your thoughts on biggest disappointment?
This one's interesting to me because, you know, almost all of these, well, you know what? All of these have some sort of mitigating factor to them, I think. Like Lazarus, I remember when we did the preview, I said, this show is going to be bad because I read the synopsis and I was just like, nope, it's just not going to come together. None of this makes sense. It is silly. And that ended up being true. So I wasn't disappointed. My expectations for Lazarus were met. Something like One Punch Man Season 3, it's worse than Season 2, but I don't think anyone expected it to. Would it not be still disappointing if it was as good as Season 2? Like, it would still suck. At some point, there's like diminishing returns on the suckage. It sucks, whatever. Like, like Season 2 was so bad that would have won, biggest disappointment that year, probably. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah,
what
top of my
else came out, but yeah, but like that would have been a top contender, right? And So like the fact that this is just worse, is that even disappointing? It's like, oh, if we had gotten back to the previous season, it still would have sucked. So, I don't think anyone was expecting this to be good. Were they? Was anyone being like, oh,
like new studio, the time in between season 2 and season 3, I think a lot of people had hope that it wasn't going to be the same thing, and it was somehow worse.
Yeah, they were huffing that copium. Wand Dance, right, does have the worst CG possibly known to man, worse than the Scorpion King.
Damn.
But from my understanding, the stuff surrounding the central pillar of this anime was pretty good. Dinner Table Detective isn't a show that it's a neat idea. It's just not a show that I could be that disappointed in. Like looking at it, like I sort of understand that could be a flop. Same thing with the beginning after the end. I guess like if you heard it was getting an adaptation and then you saw the preview, but like as someone like I think both of us who just sort of saw the preview and was like, this looks like I saw the preview before I realized it was attached to something big, apparently.
Yeah.
So like at some point, what are you expecting there? This is to say these aren't disappointments. It just makes choosing hard. Because as you said, G-Cux has really good moments. The production value is good. I like some of the story. They do sort of fit in what could be 1 to 2 cores of anime in the last episode. There's a lot of really rushed stuff. I wonder if they expected to have more episodes or something. I don't know. Like, a lot of people think Wish for Mercury had a rushed ending. That looks like the longest ending of all time. It looks like One Piece compared to what happened in G-Cux. They just really fit a lot. And there was like 7 plot lines in this, and none of them really got resolved that well. So I don't know. This is going to be a hard one for me. I think I probably go Lazarus just because it's the one that I was forced to complete. Besides G-Cux, which I just like watched because I more or less enjoyed it. Like I thought the ending was bad, but I think I gave it like a 7. And on paper, everything about it is so good, right? Like the writer, the team, and everything, and like the formula is there, but it didn't come together. I don't know. What are your thoughts here, Pete?
Yeah, I kind of for different reasons. This one's gonna be tough because there was things like Daredevil Detective where like if you saw the casting, I expected really high like enjoyment from it, and that was just like a huge letdown. And then
do you mean like the VAs on
the VAs,
for
the
casting? Okay,
because it was like, if I'm not, it was like Mamoru Miyano, the guy who plays, oh god, what's his name?
Mamoru had a hard year for you, huh?
Yeah, well, it would have been better if I could see the Zombieland Saga movie and sub. And then I think Kana Hanazawa was the female lead, and it just like, there was like no moments where like these are 3 of the best voice actors in the world on the same show.
Madhouse show too,
and it's a Madhouse show, and like with those things all together, I have a level of expectations, and I had super high expectations for Daredevil Detective, and I thought the story was bad. I thought the mystery was bad. I thought for being those 3 voice acting talents, they didn't really do what they normally do. I don't know if they were given the chance to. So stuff like that. Wand Dance is there because the detriment of the CG just ruined its reputation. Had such high hopes for this. I ended up really liking the show, but like I completely understand why everyone hates it. One Punch Man, what hasn't been said, and the beginning after the end, just the level of expectations of being one of the more popular webtoons. I mean, it's the same thing happened with Tower of God season 2, it's sort of like thinking like with Soul Leveling came in and it was shit, like production wise. You can say what you think about the story, or Tower of God season 1 coming in, the production was shit. Like those both had like pretty high production valued season 1s, but instead of getting those, it got the noblesse treatment. So just a big pile of doo-doo. So those were our biggest disappointments, and that is our last category that we are covering. Anime of the year is voted on by you, so you would select, or when you go into the voting forms, you just write down whatever anime show that came out in 2025 that you thought was the best. Don't do a movie. We don't do movies. It's harder to judge, so we don't do movies. It's just shows. So vote in the description below. It takes you a couple minutes, and you're helping out local food shelves. So, Miles, we will be. Oh, and we have a week of voting. So, when this video drops, this episode drops, you will have 7 days to vote, and then you'll have to look forward to the winning episode, whatever one. So, Miles, final thoughts. Anything that you want to say before we head out for the night?
Justice for Anne. And other than that, I like all of our picks. I think we're good.
I shot 99% this year according to Miles, so I'll take that. That's a
look.
dub.
I've put my votes in. I gotta say, I had multiple votes for To Be Hero X on here.
That's great.
So it might be the first show that I gave a 5 and voted for multiple times in Anime of the Year awards.
Maybe. So look forward to that episode in 2 weeks. Otherwise, if you want to support us, vote obviously, but like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on whatever platform you're watching or listening to us on. If you want to hear Miles' story, give me $500 on YouTube and you can hear that story. Otherwise, look forward to the Anime of the Year episode in 2 weeks. So thank you for voting. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.